Hey, everybody. Okay, we are live. Hi to all you successful women. And I'll say a quick hi to everyone who's going to be watching the replay later on today or tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking us out. Hi to all the YouTube viewers. I love that we can stream this to YouTube as well, because I know I do have some loyal followers there. So I hope you enjoy this training. Hi to all my VIPs. Keep killing it, right? I just want to say I am totally in love with the way that this Facebook group is connecting. I see so many chats and connections happening in the comments of posts and in the private messenger chat that we kind of started as well. You guys know how to get it done and you know how to help each other out. So that is just like absolutely amazing to me. Everybody say hi to my wonderful friend Paige, who's in the chat. She's got an Amazon gift card for a lucky commenter today. So make sure you let her know that you're here. Keep the comments coming for your chance to win. Today we have HKB, whose mission it is to help people transform their lives to the lives that they want. She is here with her training on how tweaking in routine brings the change that you want. So let me grab her and bring her on. Hey,
Hi,
how you doing?
I'm fine.
Good. Well, I can hear you just fine. I'm excited to hear your training, so I will give you the floor.
Okay. Hi, I'm HK. I'm basically the mindset and the numerology coach. So, today I'm going to talk about how by tweaking a little bit things in your routine, you can bring a big change in your life. Did you I'm sure you all have taken a painkiller in your life at one point or the other, even if you have a headache or stomach ache or whatever. We all know what the painkiller did. Painkiller just stop the signals which sending to the brain that cause the pain. Similarly, if we trained our subconscious mind, it's similar to the painkiller. When we have the painkiller, the pain stop, and meanwhile we do the things which end that pain forever. Similarly, our subconscious mind and our thoughts are the painkiller. And when we fill our subconscious mind with the positive thought, it work as a painkiller. It gave us the positive energy. It gave us the positive aura which we required to end that suffering which we are facing continuously. We are not somehow a magic being or something that we cannot make any mistake in our life. We all make one or two mistake in our life, or sometime the mistake is turned into the failure, one failure, two failure, three failure. And however, if you go through the fun one failure, you were like, okay, that's not a problem, it's just a simple failure. You just get up again and start working. But what will happen if you face the failure one after another, and you will like so frustrated, you are sad, you are like you are in a dark in a gloomy place and not able to understand what should I do, how should I end that pain and misery. So what would happen every time when your mind is filled with a negative thought? You decided to take the first step. You take the first step, okay, your mind is full of energy that you are so positive that this is going to happen. This is my big shot. But back there, your subconscious mind is start playing his role. And it was like, no, you are going to defeat. You are not going to be again win, because every time when you start something new you fail, and this time also you are going to fail because there is nothing going to change, you are going to fail. And that's your subconscious mind who is playing trick on you. The enthusiasm, the energy which you have before starting that project is slowly going down, and you do the work half-heartedly, like, what is this? And in the end, somehow you think that you are trying your level best, you do your level best, but you again fail, and you are like start crying, why is this going to happen with me, why? The similar thing happened to me also. I'm like very sad. I just take the one step, I failed. I take the second step, I failed. I'm so sad and so depressed that why is this going to happen? Why is this process is happening? So I just do some deep digging in the YouTube channel, reading books and all these stuff. So in the beginning, I just started with some affirmations, but like as usual, most of the people says that affirmation does not work. The thing is that how can that affirmation will work when you did not change your core problem? My core problem is that whenever I defeat, my mind start chatting that you are a failure, you are not going to succeed in any way. So I find out that whenever some difficult situation came in front of me, or something which I can't overcome, and I was like, my mind starting saying that you are failure, you cannot succeed in your life. We all have these type of lines that come up again and again, which is sit in our subconscious mind, which after some time, whenever we fall, whenever we fail, it come back. So what we need to do is to remove that line, or to change or tweak that line, and program that line so effectively in our brain that every time if this type of thing happened, that we fail or we fall, we did not stop. Even though instead our mind will say that you are a failure, it will say that you will succeed, no worries. But to reach at that point, we have to do one two steps in our daily routine. We all know that self love is important, but problem is that we are so busy that we even did not bother to spend 10 minutes on ourselves, and we are like, okay, I can spend my time on myself whenever I have the time. Right now I am watching TV, and I will spend time on myself when I have the time. Right now I'm seeing my favorite series, and like this, you did not give yourself the time to breathe, to clear your mind, to consciously aware what your mind is doing, what it is programming. So, sorry, how it is programming, and how is doing all those stuffs. Like, why every time you feel these things come up? So what we can do is, first of all, we have to find out what is the main root cause line, or the problem which we continuously say to ourselves whenever we fail. But this is little bit of deep process, because you can say that this is the line, but you have to journal it, you have to note down that every time when you see little bit of failure or little bit of hardship in your life, and how is your mind react, how it trying to calm you down, or like tell you that leave that, you will not able to do that. Write down for a week or two, and after that you will find out, okay, this is the right line, this is the line which I have to change, because our subconscious mind is 70 to 80%. And if we conquer that subconscious mind, we will become the hero of our life. And now it's depend upon you, that do you want that subconscious mind rule on you, or you rule on that subconscious mind. So after that, you have find out that this is the line which caused trouble in my life. Like I used to say that I am the failure, so I just start tweaking that line. I switch that line with, I choose to be a winner. In the beginning, maybe this will happen that your brain is like, how can you choose to be a winner? You are a failure. How can you do this? This is not possible. So we can start with this. I am learning to be a winner. When you added learning to be, your brain is like, okay, he is or she is learning something. So maybe the probability that he or she will change. So in the beginning, when you start with, I am learning to change, at that point also your brain will start knocking you like, no, 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 like a woodpecker. No, 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 this is not true, this is not true. But you have to continue with that, that I am learning, I am learning to win, I am will win it. And when you saying that I am learning to win, feel that energy, feel how you will feel when you win, how happy will you be when you got the, when you able to live the life you really want to live. So, what we need is to have at least reserve for ourselves 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes in the night and 10 minutes in the morning. So, this ritual is started with the night and end in the morning. Just sit down or lay down, whatever you like. Just calm your mind. Either lit some candle or something fragrancing, or after that, or some music which calm your mind, like you will feel a peace, you will feel the happiness within you. And after that, just take 2 to 3 deep breath, inhale and exhale. And during that, just imagine how that breathing, how that energy flowing through your whole body. And after this, just say that whatever the thing which you want to change, whichever the line which particularly you decided that you have to change, and say those lines that I learn to be a winner, or I choose to be a winner, I choose to be more happy, I choose to be more calm. And after that, just feel relaxed and do whatever you want to do. Because when you do set these lines to yourself in the night, and after that you go to sleep, your that thoughts remain in your subconscious mind. And after that, when you wake up in the morning, what you have to do is just wake up. Now, in the morning also, we are regenerating the energy which we have collected in the night while we are sleeping. So what we have to do is, we have to rub our hand for 2 3 minutes. After that, put your hand on your eyes like this. After that, see your hand. It's like you are seeing the, it's like you are seeing something, or I can say it's the all, all source of your power. It's the source of your power. Your hand is the source of the power, because when you rub, the energy is start collecting in your hand. And when you put your hand upon on your eyes, and it is the energy, it's going into your eyes and your skin, so it gave you a refreshing feeling. After that, if you have some garden, or you can go to a walk, do that. Or if that's not possible, we have a simple step: have some house plants which are easy to take care, and go near to that plant, and lit and started the same music which you listen in the night, and the same fragrance which you lit in the night. And after that, take a glass of water and sip the water, one sip by sip. Sorry, drink the water sip by sip. And the each sip which you are taking, feel like the energy is flowing inside you. Like the water, you are near the ocean and the waves are hitting your body, that soft waves hitting your body. Imagine that you have all the energy which you needed in your life. And after that, again take 4 to 5 breaths. Inhale and exhale. And same lines which you repeat in the night, repeat those same line in the morning, that I choose to be happy, I choose to be a winner, I choose to be more calm, I choose to be more patient, I choose to have a successful business, I choose to be the happiest person in the world. And the thing which you repeat in the night and when you say them again in the morning, it just activate in your subconscious mind. But remember this thing, that this is not a magic. It will take a time. It will take a time of at least 7 to 10 days to change, but that change will be slow, and it depend upon you how you grab the energy, because energy is something which is flow everywhere. We all know that there is a positive vibe and the negative vibes, so it's upon you which type of energy you want to attract, positive or the negative. And when you say positive words to yourself and repeat those words in the morning, you are attracting the positive energy in yourself. And somehow in the afternoon also, if you feel like, oh, I am a bit sad, so then also repeat those lines calmly. Just take the breath 2 to 3 times. No need to do something extraordinary. But if you get the chance in the morning to connect with the nature, it will increase that energy. Because when we connect with the nature, nature is something the source of all type of energy. It gave us more energy, and when we use that more and more energy with the positive wo- affirmations, and we feel that positive energy inside ourselves, and we are like, it's like a boom, energy boom all around you, and you will feel calm. And something, it's like something magical is happening inside you. You can feel that if you try it. In the beginning, I know it is going to be difficult. Maybe you started today and tomorrow you are like, no, I don't want to do, I can't able to do. And somehow if you able to push yourself to 2 3 4 5 6 days, you feel the difference. But if you start after 1 or 2 days, like I don't able to do that, or you are just okay, forget it, nothing is happening. But please remember, this is not a magic. It's about the energy. It's how you tame your brain, how you feel. It's all about this. And until unless you not tame your brain, the brain is your master. So we have to become the master of our brain. We cannot let him lead. We have to lead him. Every time we take the step, it's not like our brain say that you are a failure, you are a failure. However, you know that you can succeed, but that old cycle is repeating again and again because you are not ready to take the step to change the core problem. Until unless you don't change that core problem, how many affirmation you will try, nothing will going to change until unless you change your main line, which every time come back. How hard you try, it will come back and knock, bang bang bang. So it's upon you how you find out that line, how you change that line, and how you incorporate that positive line in your life. And slowly slowly you will see that things are changing. Because when you are positive, you will able to see the road, you will see the behind the walls, what is happening, how is happening, how can you do that. But when you are surrounded with the negative thought, they are like a solid steep wall, and you are not able to see the thing which even in front of you. So it's better to tame your mind. I hope you like today workshop, and thank you, Katie, for giving me the chance to be with you.
That was so good. You have to see all the comments right now. I think we were all like breathing with you, like, and we're all like rubbing our hands together. I'm like, I'm totally trying this tonight because that's some good stuff right there. I'm trying this little routine tonight, and I totally agree with you. I've been doing a lot of mindset stuff in this group because I find that that's like the first block for people is mindset, and
Yeah.
I work with more newer entrepreneurs, and that's the biggest problem is getting the mindset right. So that is like so good. Perfect. Absolutely perfect for this group. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right.
Thank you
And
so much.
no problem. And it's going to be in the comments, and her link is in the video description. So check that out. Thanks so much for being on.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys. So that was amazing, right? So like I said, I've been doing a lot of mindset work in this group. I mean, I'm a business systems type coach, but I feel like everything starts with mindset, doesn't it? Like absolutely everything starts with mindset. So I've been doing a lot of mindset trainings the last few weeks. Today, it's a little about mindset, but also giving you some like solid, concrete things to step into. Okay. So today is about the 4 steps to gaining momentum in your business, right? So whether you've been in the game for a while or if you're just getting started, this it's relevant for both. And if it's not relevant now, it'll be relevant at some point in time. Okay. And I have a question for everyone in the chat. I want to see some chat participation. But momentum shift, it's like something that even professional athletes have to master when they have a downshift in their performance, like they're underperforming. So let me know in the chat if you've ever had downward momentum, right? Ever experienced like a downward shift, like a downshift in your momentum cycle, right? And everyone in the chat should be commenting. If this is not you, you're like superhuman, and I need to bring you on to do a training here because you've mastered the skill that no one else on earth has acquired. So I want to hear if you have never felt a downward momentum, right? Because whether we recognize it or not, consciously happening, right? As human beings, this cycle, the kind of ebb and flow with momentum, it happens day to day, all right? But what you want to be able to do is to recognize those downturns, the slowdowns, right? And be able to shift your momentum. Someone told me, and it literally resonated with me so much that it's like never left my brain. Excuse me. And I don't remember the context of the lesson, but we were going over this. We were talking about momentum, and he said, momentum is not something that you lose. It's something that you give up. Not something you lose. It's something that you give up. So much power in that sentence. Can anyone guess why there's so much power in that sentence? Like, where is the power in that sentence? Right? See if you can guess like why that is so powerful. I want to see some comments. Giving you homework. So understand that you can manage momentum, right? Because why? Because momentum is actually within your control, right? And when we recognize that momentum is in our control, we're no longer victims to the wins and the fails. When we have control over things, when we recognize that we're in the driver's seat, we have 1,000% more certainty and adaptability in our life. All right, let me know if this resonates with you, what this downward spiral looks like. And this could be in your business or your personal life, like I said, right? And it's equally applicable, I would say, in your personal and business life because they intertwine, right? What happens is we get hit with something, right? We get hit with something and then we start to dwell on it. And we dwell on it and we dwell on it and we dwell on it. And then what happens when we're dwelling on it is that we magnify it, we amplify it to the point where it literally consumes us. It feels insurmountable on its own. We let it affect how we think. We let it affect how we act. We start overthinking. We start overanalyzing. And what happens is we deviate from the things that had us in high performance, like our morning formula, going to bed on time, eating healthy, journaling, the habits that HK was just talking about. And as we get further from those habits, excuse me, as we get further from those habits, it grows and it grows. And before you know it, you're in a full force rut. You've lost momentum. And then what happens is we start to recognize it. Okay, we actually start to see that we're in a rut. How can I stop this from getting worse? Which is the wrong question to be asking, right? Anybody know why that's the wrong question to be asking? Right? I need to snap out of this. It's getting worse. Why is that the wrong question to be asking? I'll tell you, it's the wrong question to be asking because it's coming from a state of disempowerment instead of empowerment. So, leaning back to the sports analogy, all of us at one point or another has ever either played a sport, watched a sport, known someone that played a sport. So if you look at ruts that athletes have gone through, where sometimes like a whole team is on a losing streak, right? Everybody, you've witnessed this, right? With people, individuals, or it could be a whole team, right? This phenomenon of them being on a losing streak or a rut, right? Or a baseball player may go like 8, 9, 10 games without a hit, right? They're in a rut. They're professional athletes. They've made it to the big leagues, right? But 8, 9, 10 games, no hits. And for the most part, these ruts, they start from the root cause, which is feeling like we have no control over our outcomes, right? Write that down. No control over our outcomes. Like, do you know what the leading catalyst is for depression, right? The leading cause of depression? It's actually just a lack of hope. Lack of hope literally kills the human spirit. A fun study that actually came from nursing homes back in the day, one particular nursing home, researchers wanted to see a correlation between control and mortality. So they took a look at the nursing homes and they chose one, and the residents, the patients, they called residents, they have nothing to do but literally sit in their rooms and like maybe play bingo or something, and they told them the only thing they needed to do, the only thing they were in charge of, was watering the plants in their room once a day. That was their entire job, watering the plants in their room, right? So they gave these patients the task of watering the plants, and then they followed the patients around for, like, I don't even remember how many months it was, right? It was like several months, maybe 6 months to a year. And they studied the effects on these patients. And a really cool part of the study is that as they're monitoring these patients and they're studying the mortality rate, the average number of deaths in the nursing home were actually cut in half. The mortality rate of that nursing home after several months was cut in half. Why? Why? Because they gave them a purpose. They didn't have a new drug, right? There was no like new fancy drug that they were giving out at this nursing home. They gave them a purpose. They gave them a sense of control in their lives. I don't know if you ever had a loved one spending time in a rehab facility, like maybe they had like surgery and they're getting PT or something, right? I worked in a nursing home on a subacute floor for the first 6 years of my nursing career. It's literally one of the most, like, what's the word I want to use? It's like you're stripped from almost all of your abilities and your capabilities, right? Everything is controlled. Your diet is controlled. Your medication is controlled. Your schedule is controlled. Like, people totally lose control. They go in there and they have no control over what's happening to them. So watering these plants gave these people a sense of control back, even if it was very small, right? And so back to momentum, without the belief that things can change, or the belief that we actually have the power to stimulate positive change, Once we actually recognize that we have that power back, then replicating the same scenario again and again is insanely high. So when it comes to creating momentum, and maybe right now, maybe you're experiencing the other side of momentum. Maybe you're having like an upward swing, right? And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it doesn't last forever because we're human. We have periods where we lose focus. We have periods where we kind of release that control. But the difference to me, anyways, between like a champion, like a world-class athlete, and the average class is their ability to avoid major ruts or recognize them as they're happening, addressing it, owning it, getting back on their feet quicker, right? It gives you the control back. So like another sports analogy, think of like a major athlete having like a detrimental injury, like an ACL tear, broken leg, broken arm, right? What's next? Right? A big time athlete, an all-star, something happens on the field or the court, medical injury, like tears their Achilles, right? Not a bruise or a minor sprain. Like this is a season-ending injury. Okay, what immediately follows within hours of the injury? If you tear your ACL in the NFL or in the NBA, within hours, they have you in surgery. Within hours. All right, why? Because they know that the longer they wait, the longer they're delaying the recovery process. Right, and the longer before they can play again, which is very expensive for the league. So that separates the champion from like the average class person, right? Like the average person, you probably have to wait weeks before getting on the surgical schedule. Like you'd get your emergency treatment, but then you're sitting at home waiting to get on the surgery schedule, right? And it's terrible, but that's usually how it is. So the difference between those champions and the rest of us, peons, is that it's not that they don't get injured, right? But they figure out what they can control. What are we going to do? What can we have control over? How quickly can we get them into surgery? How quickly can we fix this? And how quickly can we move forward? Right? Are you guys with me so far? So it's identifying that if something happened that could rock your momentum, right? That could shift you out of that state, that upward state, and immediately going into, okay, what can I control here? That's the question you want to ask. What can I control? What can I do here? Okay, and I'm going to give you 4 shifts, 4 ways to shift your momentum. And it's going to be like almost an immediate shift in momentum, right? You should feel it right away. You could do this today, right? Or if you're experiencing this like 4 or 5 months from now, I want you to take this out of your pocket and implement this. All right, so grab a pen and a paper, notebook, Evernote, Google Docs, wherever you take notes, and write this down. And I bet Araldi is going to put it in the comments too, because she always does. I love her. So number 1, shift of momentum comes from choosing your locus of control. This should shift momentum almost immediately. Choosing your locus of control. And there are 2 types of locuses of control, right? And I don't know how many have heard this before, right? The first one is your inner focus of control. And the second one is your external locus of control. So, question for you, when it comes to the things that you focus on, the majority of the scenes are out of your control, right? Out of your control. External, the weather, the traffic, someone no shows on a strategy session, someone not taking you up on the strategy session altogether. If you focus on everything that you can't control, because whatever locus of control you choose to operate from, whichever locus of control that you choose will absolutely dictate your decisions, which affects your behaviors, which, it gives you your outcomes. Your actions give you your outcomes, right? And it creates your experience with the world around you. So number 1 is choosing your locus of control, which, by the way, a lot of confident people tend to view the world from an internal locus of control. And unconfident people, I don't know if unconfident's a word, but they tend to view the world from an external locus of control. Another way of looking at this is like really confident people, they can like sell anything to anyone because they believe that people want what they have to offer, right? And somebody who has an external locus of control is like, how do I know? I need to figure out what they're going to like. I don't know what they're going to do. Okay. So, number 2 to shift your momentum almost immediately is to choose what you feed. So, a quote that comes to mind is, whatever you feed will grow. So, those who live in the external locus of control and in that headspace operate out of fear. They worry out of this place of scarcity. No matter what they do, it really doesn't matter, because it's like this very small percentage that they actually have control over. Like if something good happens, like say a win happens, doesn't matter. They just got lucky. Those who choose to live in the external locus of control choose to feed fear or anxiety rather than feeding control or confidence. When it comes to fear, speaking from my own personal experience, fear is present like almost every single day in my life. Almost every single day. I just choose to starve it. So when I feel fear and I choose to starve it, I feed my confidence. Okay? So number 2 is choose what you feed. Number 3 is take stock of your controls. Something I highly recommend doing before anything like a strategy session, consultation call, a Facebook Live training, right? A speaking event. Anything that you know, like just maybe you notice you're feeling like a little antsy, a little anxiety. Start to take stock of your controls. Literally list every single thing that you have when it comes to absolute control. Like take 5 to 10 minutes. Make a physical list. Write it down. Write your controls down, right where you can see them, and replay those things over and over and over again in your head. What do you have control over? Okay, it's taking control over what we have control over. What you think you have control over actually dictates how you show up, right? So what are the things that you know are in your control? It's a really empowering 5 minutes of time. Okay, I highly suggest doing that. Number 4 is to create a highlight reel. Create a highlight reel. Some people call them thought wheels, focus wheels, but this is all going to be about the highlights, right? You can do this twice a day if you want. If you want morning and evening, kind of like HK, what she was saying could be part of your morning or your evening routine, right? So put it in your journaling, right? Do you journal in the morning? Do you journal in the evening? You can put this right in there, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Create a highlight reel. Go over all of the wins that you had, right? Before you go to bed, go over all the wins that you had. And why do we do this? Any guesses why we do this, right? Why do we create a highlight reel? This could be wins. It could be client wins. It could be, you had a record month. It could be personal wins. It doesn't even have to be business. That's huge. It could be personal wins, right? Wins are huge. I don't know if you've noticed, we value wins around here. I ask a lot about wins. I'm in the comments asking people about wins. If I'm chatting with somebody, I'm asking them what their wins are, right? We celebrate wins like crazy around here, like always celebrating. I love them. I get so much joy and excitement talking about winning, how clients are winning, where the breakthroughs are happening, right? It's like my lifeline. So I recommend that if you guys aren't doing this every single day, celebrating some kind of personal or business win, start to incorporate that into your day. And creating a highlight reel amplifies the feeling of winning. The human brain loves to win. It increases dopamine, it increases serotonin, all the happy chemicals in our brains, right? So going over this highlight reel creates momentum because it shows your brain that you're winning at life. you're winning every single day, right? If you don't manage it, if we neglect it, if we don't feed it with highlight reels, it will start to amplify and highlight our losses. And I use the word losses loosely, right? But it'll take like any mistake or any little slip up, or anything that we've, dumb that we've done that day, right? And it'll magnify it. And it'll create this really dumb loop of that dumb thing that we did, right? Which just creates this state of worry, right? And we're walking on eggshells. It creates a very disempowering state to show up to the world with. So when it comes to these AM and PM wins, highlight reels, make sure you're amplifying your wins, right? And I don't want you to think like, you're creating these massive wins at 5 a.m. in the morning, right? 5:30 in the morning. Maybe an AM win is like waking up before your alarm clock, or maybe getting your morning formula or your morning routine done. Maybe getting your bed made right away, right? Because having your bed made like kind of changes your whole mind frame when you walk into your room, right? Your brain wants more of this. So you go for a few of your AM wins, you go through them, and your brain is going to want more and more and more, and it's going to find more ways for you to win, for you to feed it more wins, right? And that is what creates momentum, right? So these are the 4 shifts in momentum, and almost immediately, of course, caveat to this is you actually have to apply it, but you should feel a shift in the momentum almost immediately, okay? So number 1, choose your locus of control, internal or external, right? Do we choose what we can control, or do we choose what we can't control? Number 2, choose what you feed. Whatever you feed will grow. Fear and scarcity, or confidence and control, okay? Number 3, take stock of your controls. List them out in black and white, right? All the things you have control over. Make a mental list. Every single thing you have absolute control over. It increases your level of certainty, which amplifies momentum. And number 4 is to create the highlight reel. Do it in the AM, do it in the PM. I would love to see a follow-up from you guys in the next couple of days. If any of you guys use any one of these 4 steps to amplify your momentum, right? I promise you, even if you use one of them, it will serve you tremendously, right? We're creating this feeling of being in momentum every single day. And the more you feel like you're in momentum, the more momentum that you create. Okay? And the other thing I want to mention is that when we're going over wins, we're not necessarily just focusing on business wins, right? This could be wins of you showing up as a leader, or as a wife, as a mother, as a good neighbor, right? Too many of us focus only on the business wins, and those are important, right? Especially, this is like a huge area of focus, especially if this is like the season of your life where you're growing your business, which most of us are, right? It's okay. But if you neglect everything else and everything else around you, then you're going to be lagging, okay? So I'd love to hear from you guys, maybe a follow-up in a week or so. Let me know if any of you start implementing these 4 steps, and let me know what you notice, right? Let me know what your takeaways are from any of this, right? Let me know if any of you feel like you've leveled up, right? And you started to create more and more momentum, okay? And also let us know in the chat right now what some of your wins are from the beginning of the week. We're already 3 days in, 2.5 days in USA anyways. Let us all know what some of your wins are so we can celebrate you as well. Okay, I hope you got value here today. That's it for today, everyone. Thanks so much to HKB for her training. Don't forget to check out her link in the video description. Mine is there too if you want to learn about creating systems in your biz for higher income months, longevity, and how to create things that add to that list of controls that you're going to be making out, your list of controls. Amazon gift card winner, make sure you email me, and you guys have an amazing end of your week, and I hope you have more wins by the end of the week. See ya.